Hello, I'm Athena Rethis. Welcome to the Quaranteen podcast. Um, so what's up? Oh yeah, I can't hear you, I forgot. Um, this is kind of awkward. This week, special guest is no one. It's a solo episode today. Um, also, it's the last episode. Um, I kind of didn't want to film it, really. I'm kind of sad. I'll get into that. I gotta bring up the energy, you know? We just grow apart. I don't know what I'm saying. Kind of buying time for me to open up my phone. Okay, so the first two questions I ask every guest, and also I ask myself every week, do I have any TV show or movie recommendations? I use Letterboxd, so if you know what that is, it's just, if you don't, I'll tell you, it's a website, Letterboxd, so it's like letterbox, add a D to it, letterboxd.com. And I just put in the films that I watch, and you can rate it, review it, make a watch list, follow your friends there, create lists and stuff. So far, I have like 7 7 lists. Marvel. I only watched 2 Marvel movies so far, and this is December 6th. September, October 2020, I have a stand-up one, really like stand-up musicals. November, and then films I watched in school, more particularly kind of like film school. So that's interesting. If you want to check out those lists, go follow me on Letterboxd. Follow those lists if you want. All of them are pretty new. I just started using Letterboxd September 1st, 1989. No, I'm kidding. In September, if you know that reference, sup, musical kid. But I do have some recommendations. So if you're bored, and right now for me it's final season. So if you want something to distract you from final season, I got you. The thing is, I do this like every week. Obviously, the podcast is weekly. I don't really know what I said, but another person who's hopping on the train, The Queen's Gambit. Watch it. I finished it a couple days ago. It's really good. Check it out. Really, I know everyone's been talking about it, so just check it out. Another one you should watch is Happiest Season. It's like Christmassy, and, Kristen Stewart. It's Clea Duvall, which is great. Um, so yeah, watch that. Another movie, Yes God Yes. It's with Natalie Dyer, who's in Stranger Things. I'll tell you why it's important later. And I really like that movie. I went to a Catholic high school, so it's really, I love it. Like I don't, I know like it's probably not the best reviewed, but I really like it. It doesn't really have an ending, which does kind of, eh. But I don't know. It's really personal because yeah, Catholic high school. If you went to a Catholic high school, check it out. It's good. It's good. It's fine. I think it's funny. It's really my type of humor, which I love. I was laughing out loud, and it's great. um, so yeah, check that out. TV shows, Will and Grace. I'm watching it a lot. Just check out Will and Grace. It's on Hulu. Go check it out. All the things I just said. Queen's Gambit and oh, Happy Scenes on Hulu. The other two are on Netflix. So just I forgot to keep saying like where they're at. Okay, so that's that. That's the first question I ask every guest. The next one is screen time. Ooh. Okay, screen time. So I've been on my phone a lot, as do most people. I also have an iPad and a computer, which you're on right now. Hi. Okay, so activity. It's taking a little minute to load, which is interesting. Okay, today's been an hour and 37 minutes. It's currently almost 3 p.m. Kind of a lot. That's not that much though. I was doing homework earlier and just FaceTiming some people and, doing work. But this past week, 5 hours and 11 minutes. I've been using Instagram a lot. And then the second thing, not TikTok this time, a Harry Potter game. I played this Harry Potter game beginning of quarantine and before quarantine, then I kind of just forgot about it. But I've been playing it again recently because, I don't know, I want a distraction. It's really fun. And what's good about the game is that, so like your character, mine's named Athena, 'cause that's my name. Hi, nice to meet you. It's she does a lot. Like, there's a lot going on. There's like the normal storyline, and then every couple days there's like a new one. And this one's where you get to go to the bureau, bureau, burrow. I'm bad at names. Where you get to meet the Weasleys. So far, we met Bill and Charlie. Bill, I think, is a year above us. Charlie's our same age, or vice versa. I don't remember. They're not that important in the storyline as of yet. I'm in year 4. Um, so far, I've kind of just been chilling. I've been taking the story pretty slow. I could do it faster, but I really want to get all the perks. I'm on the Reddit. I know what's up, kind of. I haven't checked in a little bit because then I get obsessed. But it's been fun to just click, 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 and then you read the little thing, and it's just like, oh. I know, it's kind of heartwarming, especially during this time. I always get obsessed with this game during holiday season. Doesn't matter what holiday, just any holiday. I'm just like, oh, Harry Potter. Imagine living at Hogwarts. Fun. Sounds fun. But then you realize all the stuff that goes on, and you're like, ah. But I get the best of both worlds. Call me Hannah Montana. Okay, moving on to kind of what this episode's going to be about. Bad News Bears. Last episode. I don't know why I did that. So it's 20 episodes. The 20th episode. Fun. If you're a big avid listener of the podcast, which you should be, it's okay if you're not. Technically, there's supposed to be another person, and then me, because I do 4 guests, and then me, then 4 guests, then me, then 4 guests. You get it. Technically, supposed to be another guest, and then the last episode, but I could have had a guest. I mean, I just because I like ending it evenly, like, like 5, 10, but like in fives, or yeah. And I didn't really want to do 21 episodes because then, like, the little posts on Instagram, like the series of doubles that you can do goes up to 10 pictures you can post. I have to do another post for one more episode. I mean, I guess, but like, I just wanted to end it off with 20. Honestly, I don't think if I had another guest right now, I think it'd be cool, but like, I don't know. I just didn't want to. I kind of already made up my mind, so. So last episode, not ever. I'm not sure if it's good or bad, but basically, the Quaranteen podcast. Hi, I'm a teen. Yes, we're in quarantine. I'm a teen. I'm funny. Um, but we're still in quarantine, and this was originally supposed to be 5 episodes. So I'd be, oh, cute little thing to do. It's been 20 weeks now. Well, more of quarantine, but 20 weeks is just the podcast. That's a lot. A lot. So many guests. It was, I went through trials and tribulations to do this podcast, and it's fun. I look forward to it every week. It's like a huge constant in my life, which I think is what you need during a time of uncertainty. And I love doing this podcast. It's just that, I don't know. I feel like sometimes you can get stale. I think with podcasts and kind of TV shows, what makes it great is that it's series and seasons, and there's kind of a element of exclusivity, I guess. Um, and I think that's what changes about podcasts. I listen to a ton of podcasts. I mean, obviously, if I didn't, then there would be no reason to start a podcast. But I listen to the Basement Yard a lot. Shout out to you if you listen to the Basement Yard. It's a great podcast. Joe Santagato, great. I listened to all 3 of his podcasts at the time, but mainly the Basement Yard is what got me into it. And this was like a year, maybe 2 years ago. Love the podcast. They uploaded, I think, once every week. I mean, that's kind of typical, but I think they also did bonus episodes every once in a while. And I loved it. They just talked kind of about the news and just joked around with their own personal lives. And I kind of have I have many ideas for podcasts, by the way. All of them come from the podcast I listen to. Great artist steal. What is it quote? Great artist steal. Good artist steal, great artist copy. That's it. I'm not gonna look it up. You can look it up if you care, but but technically stealing is bad. But getting inspiration from something didn't really hurt anybody. I think that's the whole point. To make art is to also inspire. I mean, if you just like make art, you don't want somebody's nose is itchy. I don't know why. I don't have COVID. Sorry, it's like not funny anymore. So I don't know. I had an idea for that podcast, or an idea relating to that style of podcast, and I find me watching it every week kind of just made it stale. Like talking about the news back then, like there's like Florida man does blah 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 or whatever, like random things that people do because people are crazy. That was just fun because it was just so like, what? What? Huh? But now every week is like, okay, yeah. Like, it doesn't seem so unbelievable now. Like, the pandemic going on. There's a million things you can probably sort to. And like 3 years ago, if I were to tell myself, like, oh, this is what happened, you wouldn't believe you now, right? I mean, I wouldn't. Sorry, my dog's barking. I'm not sure if you can hear him. But yeah, I don't know. Just that podcast kind of got stale. It was consistently every week, which I think is great. I think you need consistency, especially on YouTube. Just my point is that I think Einstein says doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, is the definition of crazy. Not that it's bad to keep being consistent with low numbers. I don't care about the numbers. I mean, I wouldn't prefer to have 0 people watching, but I wouldn't prefer to have 100,000. I mean, maybe, but like, I'm probably canceled here and there, and so much controversy over just like someone like not being edited. Like that's what the whole social media is about, like editing and changing your perception of people. And podcasts are kind of like counter to that, but it's also bad because people like YouTubers get canceled off podcasts because they say one little thing. Or like live streams, you're being yourself. Sometimes most people do. I try to. I don't know. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying my long ramble means, yeah, last episode. If you want me to do more, I can. It's just kind of hard getting guests and people. I mean, I know it's stupid of me to like stop doing the podcast when people will be home in the next coming weeks over winter break. Yeah, winter break. Summer break. Ooh. Um, I don't know. That's my tagline. I don't know. It, I could keep going, but I mean, yeah, I kind of wanted to focus on myself. So yeah, last episode. If you want me to do more, email the podcast at athenarethispodcasts@gmail.com. I can. I was thinking about this, being like, because consistently for 20 weeks, that's pretty good. Like, I don't think I've done anything consistently weekly for 20 weeks. Oh, school. Okay, well, like willingly, like all on my own. Like my parents are like, "What are you doing?" I'm gonna tell them obviously, but like they're not like, "Oh, good for you." I mean, they do, but they're not like, "Oh, when are you gonna film, huh?" What? They're not like kind of making me do it. Does that make sense? I was gonna say egging on, but I don't think that's the right usage of the word. They're not really like they're not involved really. It's just all me. But 20 episodes is a lot. You can go binge watch the others. And I'm kind of trying to focus on myself, and it's weird. When I have more time, I do less. But when I have less time, I do more. Does that make sense? Oh my god. It kind of just felt like a Noah Centineo quote. Hope that made sense. More is always better. If you know that reference. If you don't, check out Mean Girls on Broadway. Maybe not that song. It's not the best song, but it's legit. Yeah, last episode, guy. I said guy. Guys, peeps, folks. Okay. So I mentioned this probably maybe. One of my big inspirations for podcasting. I listen to most of her episodes. I do gotta say, I really like Rosebud Baker, obviously, but I really like Rosebud Baker's Devil Advocate. It's her podcast. She has too. Just her solo episodes because it's so great to hear about other people's problems. Like Whitney Cummings said. And yeah, sorry. That a podcast are a lazy person's conversation. And I think with me, and I think just people being on multiple screens at once, I'm on this screen and I have my iPad and my phone right here. Oh, look, I'm on 3 screens at once. Okay, you can't tell, but maybe not. I think our attention span is kind of fading. Like I'm FaceTiming someone on my iPad, I'm looking at my phone, I'm taking a quiz on my computer. Like, just for example, maybe not typically that happens, but on occasion, that's the scenario. we're not listening to the friend. We're just scrolling just because, and I'm barely focused on the quiz. Maybe that's bad. That is bad. But I think with listening to Rosebud Baker's podcast, it gets me focused. I literally listen to it in the dark, or when she uploaded on YouTube, I watched just that and tried to be off my phone, which was a little crazy. She's not my friend, and imagine like explaining to people before the internet that like I listened to technically the radio, but okay, before the radio, before anything, talk to a caveman and be like, hey, I listen to someone I don't know weekly talk about their day, and I can't respond back to them when they might be like, I don't know. That was a really bad caveman thing. Sorry. I don't know. Doing this podcast is fun. I just already said that, but makes me think my jokes are getting worse and worse, which is like a good, interesting transition into life. You just notice that your jokes aren't getting better. Um, so I did email Rosebud Baker. She has a podcast called Devil's Advocate. Go watch it. I emailed her being like, "Hey fam, love you." I'm kidding. I don't want to read the exact email because she might do it on her podcast because she asked people to email her and they actually do. No shade to you guys. Uh, but I emailed her and didn't respond, and like I don't know. I never know. I shot my shot, you know. And she didn't respond. That was a few days ago, and like I wasn't expecting a response. Rosebud Baker's killing it on Instagram. She has a pretty decent following on YouTube and Patreon, and I just sent her one little email. I didn't, just like a fan. She's not, If you emailed me, it would say my podcast is the level she's at. And would I do like a random person's podcast? Maybe, maybe, maybe. I just sent a pretty decent email. I was just like, hey, thank you for inspiring me, and blah, blah, blah. If you want, you can be on my podcast, but you don't have to, just like nice. Because, like, I think the difference in like responding to people, especially because I could technically DM anyone and they would respond to me and have a conversation with a famous person. Right? Technically, that's an option. But people are wise with their time. Well, maybe not really. They put up a front that they are. And that why would they respond back to you? Like there's the whole thing to that. If you're nobody, if these dumb numbers on a screen mean if you don't have enough numbers, people aren't gonna respond back to you. It's just so interesting how that works. But yeah, I'm gonna get it. No shade to her. I just emailed her. Hopefully she'll be on it, but I mean it was kind of like a long shot, So yeah. So rip. So I'm just saying that because that would be the final episode if I do want that to happen. If she says yes, it'll be another episode. Like I don't care. I'll drop everything. Same thing with Whitney Cummings. I just don't, she's beyond. Cause like I don't know. She has her own like podcast setup and everything. She built a room in her house for the podcasting. She just has a bunch of guests. She just had Kesha on a couple days ago, maybe a week ago. I don't know. I'm not at that level. I'm not Kesha level. Because fucking exchange would be like, oh, she's on mine, I'll be on yours. Typically, unless she just does it for charity. But yeah, charity, which means me. Okay, I spent a long time talking about Rosebud Baker. Just really follow her, she's great. I don't know, it's like interesting to be a fan of someone, and then publicly admit it. Because people aren't really so like, oh, I love him, like Harry Styles. If you like Harry Styles, great. Everyone does. But like that's more like kind of acceptable when you're a girl liking a male celebrity. Maybe I don't have to genderize it, but like me like not loving Rose, being a fan is what I'm trying to say. I'm not a stan, I don't watch every story, don't respond to everything, I'm just a casual viewer. But like saying that, it was just like, oh cool. Like no one knows what the hell I'm talking about because everything's so niche now, You can be friends with someone and completely have different interests. And that's okay, you know? So, yeah. Okay. So, the final episode, another idea I had, which I kind of maybe mentioned earlier, if you've never listened to the podcast, is doing a reunion with everyone I had on the podcast. Because, like, they'll be special, just like catching up with everyone. But I'm kind of have my own little catch up thing I'm gonna do. But I don't think I'm gonna do that. At least not this season. I am mentioning I do want to maybe have a second season of this podcast. I have many ideas for podcasts, as I mentioned, and we'll see if I do any or one or two. I did one technically. This one, hi. But I don't really want a second season. Is that bad to say? Because that means that we're still in quarantine, you know? After this quarantine podcast is irrelevant, you know? No one wants to be reminded of being stuck at home. I don't think so. I don't know. So I hope that quarantine is up, but by March, if we're not, I'm gonna bring it back for a second season. And if you want to be on that second season, first on my list, email me at athenarethispodcasts@gmail.com. athenarethispodcasts@gmail.com. Was that kind of quick? That was kind of quick, huh? Did I misspell my name? Maybe. It's just linked down below. Just copy it and email me and be like, yo, me. And then I don't even care. I'll have you on. Second season, you know, people might lose interest or people might gain interest. I don't know. It's 50-50 gamble, huh? Anyway, I was thinking about doing a reunion episode for the last episode. And then that's kind of chaotic and it requires a lot of editing. I don't really like editing, but I'll talk about how I changed on my views. So kind of just to bring you up to speed with everybody, I have my phone. Ta-da! Oh, look, I got an email. Oh, school email. Done. Email me. I'm waiting. Okay, what the heck? Studio. Yeah, YouTube Studios. How I'm gonna check all the episodes. Also, by the way, I have a. No, I'll get into that later. Okay, first episode was me. How am I doing? Could be better. Okay, the second episode, I'm just gonna go through all the guests. Okay, Glorianne. Me and Glorianne are good friends still. I'm kind of just getting a rundown of like everything that's developed since then. Glorianne's still working at her job. She's doing school. School's been fun, kind of, hard. I don't know. I'll talk to you more about Glorianne. We've been kind of catching up recently. I mean, like, we're friends, like we FaceTime often, but recently it's been kind of hard. But she baked cookies and brought them to my house, so that was fun. And we hung out for my birthday, as you know if you watched my. Oh, maybe you don't know, because I don't think it was in that video. But yeah, basically it. I don't know what to say. Lorianne's a good person, good friend. Me and Chris kind of talked a little bit. We don't really talk that much, but he talked to me about Udemy and the Black Friday sale. That was pretty cool. Chris, I don't really know what's going on with him so much, but I'll just give you like the update. Me and Matt. I kind of copied Matt and I started a puzzle, and he kind of mad at me. We FaceTime almost every day, kind of not really, but kind of yes. Just depends. Me and Matt, we hung out a couple days ago. We went to the Stranger Things drive-through, which I'm making a video on that. We went to City Walk because I've never tasted the butterbeer there, and I wanted to try it. I've never been to the Harry Potter world because I wanted to save it for a YouTube video because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, which is dumb because now it's closed, and I wish I would have went in my lifetime, but it's fine. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, me and him, new works and stuff might be coming out. Me and him over the break, we might be filming together some things. So just he might be on my channel more. Me and Jackie, love Jackie. Me and Jackie just FaceTime today, actually. We're trying to write something over the break. That's gonna be fun. She's been acting and, doing whatever. Alexander, haven't been talking that much, but I know that he gave the best shot to do, like, sketches on YouTube. I think you should do it more. Alexander, if you're listening, do it more. Me and Rodney, and Jed, kind of the same thing. Me, Rodney, Jed, Glorianne have been, like, FaceTiming, playing Among Us, trying to do it every week, kind of. We've been slacking recently because finals are coming up. Mike came over to my house a couple weeks ago he was in my photography project. I do want to talk a little bit about that. I had an idea. It was a short idea. Like, if you know Dwayne Michaels, it's kind of his work. Like a story told in photographs. So, like a series photograph, a narrative photograph. That took me a while to get there. He makes, well, as I just said, narrative photo series, and I had one for my project, and Mike was in mine, and I forgot he takes out the trash, and the trash can isn't there. So he finds another trash can, then he realizes, oh, bad to dump your trash there and goes back. It's kind of goofy. Then when he comes back and finds his trash can, his trash spilled, and he realized he made a mess. It's kind of funny. I got a B plus on it. That makes sense. Some of the mistakes I made, I forgot it's black and white, even though it's a black and white film class. And I took photos with like the blue and green trash can. Black and white, you can't tell if they're blue and green. And then my dad told me that it's hard in black and white to get the emptiness of something, because it was the black and green, or blue and green, and the black's in the middle, and you can't really tell. I mean, that's how my trash cans are: blue, black, green. I guess people's are different ways. I forgot. Um, yeah, I mean, I would change it, but it was kind of short notice, and my other idea kind of fell through. So it's whatever. I'm trying to do more of black and white photography. I have a photography account on Instagram. Follow it. Do I consider myself a photographer? I kind of have a hot take about this. I think every Instagram person who says photographer, they're not truly a photographer if you don't. See, I like a bunch of photographers on Instagram. Like Jessica Kobasi, Mango Street, Brandon Wolf, I forgot it, Peter McKinnon. People like those. I think they are. But I know so many people with just photography accounts. Sorry for listening to this and you have a photography account. But I don't, I know some people that haven't posted in a year, 2 years, 3 years possibly. And they still have the account. They still say they're a photographer. And I guess like doing one shoot and that's it. It's not really practicing your craft. Like I used to do parkour, right? Like a couple years ago. And I wouldn't call myself a free runner. That's what you call parkour people or parkourist. I don't think that's a word. I think I made that up. But a free runner, I wouldn't consider myself that. Or a tumbler. Oh my god, wait. Free runner. Just say that. I wouldn't consider myself that. I think I used to do parkour. Back then, you could have said that I was a free runner because I did it every day for 5 years or 6 days a week, 4 hours each day for like 5 years. That's crazy. I'll get into that maybe in a different podcast, or maybe not the podcast episode, but maybe later when it's relevant. But I think it's something that you are, like a writer. I kind of consider myself to be a writer. Haven't really gotten anything published per se. I tried. I send my stuff to competitions every so often. Published. Is that whatever? Produced? Whatever. Because I write mainly plays, or at least as of in the past. Recently, TV shows and TV shows. Just writing random stuff. I try to write every day. I try to. Yeah, I would kind of consider myself to be a writer now, but photographer, kind of. Like loosely. I shoot probably once every 2 weeks. Well, I did my photography class, got assignments. And on my own, once a month, max. Like before quarantine, like in January and February, I had like 8 shoots in like 3 weeks, which is never had that amount. And that's when I consider myself to be an actual photographer. I posted so much because I did so many shoots right before quarantine, and I was planning on doing a lot more. And then if I would continue with that track, I would say I'm a real photographer, even though as of recently I've just been learning the mechanics of photography, like ISO, shutter speed, stuff like that. Like really, I think I know the basics. Amateur photographer, but still a photographer nonetheless. Like for me, calling myself an actor, not really. I go to an acting class every week, but that's kind of just for practicing and make sure I don't get stale and just being an artist per se. I think anyone's an artist if you just work on it. It's just complicated. I think it's very hypocritical of what I'm saying. But I think the point is that I don't even know how I got here. Follow my photography account. Oh, Mike, I was talking about that assignment. I don't know about my photography. I've been shooting black and white. I might go back to color because I do have a bunch of photos. I told you I shoot like once a month, so it's been like 5 shoots or so. And I haven't posted color, like normal DSLR photos or whatever. So I'll go back to that probably. after I post like maybe less than 10 black and white photos, then try to shoot more black and white. So yeah. Sorry about that random rant in the middle. I didn't even finish it, so it's okay. Okay, Kendall, me and Kendall have kind of been talking. I see her a lot, in like writing classes and whatever classes and the writing thing that I go to. Crystal, I haven't really been talking to Crystal that much. She's working, and we try to hang out. Then I kind of cancel on her because I had my voice class and I had a bio test to take. I've just been focusing on school, and every time she wants to come over, I always have shit to do. So, Issa, so I made a short film. Da 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 da. Bah. The name of the name of the title. Yeah, I made a short film with Issa. It was for my CTVA 260 class. 2 minutes about a toy car. Issa stars in it. It's coming out on YouTube next week, hopefully. I just sent it today. I just finished editing it today. I spent about a week editing, so yes, I do like editing now. I watched an editing documentary. I would totally recommend it, but I don't want to necessarily give like general just film recommendations. And so you should follow me on Letterboxd and maybe follow that list, because that's like more like what I watched in film school, particularly. But I just put school because technically I'm a theater minor and maybe a photography minor soon. We'll see. I have to think about it, considering it might take me an extra semester at school, or very stressed over summers or like normal classes in winter and summer. Basically, it's an extra 18 units, which is like a lot sometimes. So I have to see. Yeah. So it's coming out. I gotta just edit the movie poster for it in Photoshop. I have not used Photoshop in forever, and I barely did it. I was following along to a tutorial. Gotta do that. But Premiere. I edited this video in Premiere. I edited this short film in Premiere. I started editing a week before I shot it. Just a little bit just to get the basics of it. This video I'm editing for about 3.5 weeks now, sadly. When Reddit roasts me for my birthday. My birthday was like a month and a half ago. The video was supposed to come out like yesterday, but I just really didn't want to edit it. I was editing my toy car video, the film, and I decided to spend a long time with it. I know a J cut, I know an L cut. Doesn't matter if you want to know more about it, just Google it. And I did some like kind of fancy stuff for my first time, like truly editing in Premiere. Like it looks pretty decent. I think in like a couple months from now, I'ma hate it. But right now it's decent. I would give myself, well, I always never give myself an A, because I always see the faults in it. So, A for effort. A for effort. That's what I would give myself. Because I really did spend a long time. I spent like a couple days writing it, maybe like a week, a day filming it, but I planned my shots. I made a storyboard, and I'm so bad at storyboarding. Oh, you have no idea how bad. Stick figures. I need to work on that if I ever like become a true director, if I want to be, and I think I do. It's really interesting, being a film person, and also wanting to be a director and writer and actor and everything, all of the above. Because you look a hypocrite. Like everyone wants to do this, which is great, but we're all not gonna do everything. It's kind of the pessimistic view to see it, but I'm kind of fine with whatever. So we'll see what happens. Watch what happens. Sorry. Every time I try and sing something like recorded or around people, I always like do like yeah like that, where I don't actually sing. I need to fix that. So yeah. Film was fun. Okay, writing the script I wrote in Celtics, and honestly, if you want to be a feature filmmaker, no, I say it like that. Just use Google Docs. I just got Final Draft, and I feel like I got the industry screenwriting thing, professional screenwriting equipment, professional editing software. Like such a baddie, But you don't need it in the beginning, even though I did use Premiere for my first short film, but I've made plenty of videos in iMovie, so it's fine. Some students in my class are using iMovie. So just in case you're scared of Premiere, which I am and kind of still is, a little bit. You run into so many problems with Premiere, but then it's really up to you being like, it's okay, Google. Like, the thing is, if you do start in Premiere, you will be watching a bunch of tutorials when you don't know what's going on, which is fine, because, also, some of them are a little off, but it's easy. I figured out all my problems, and I made, like, a cool effect on the film, the little lighting thing, so if you're listening to this and you watch my short film, little tip, I didn't want to refilm this little thing where the car is moving in the dark and the lights going on, so I just, oh god, it was kind of a lot of work, but I was really like, I just gotta do it. I didn't even eat. I didn't eat for an hour. I mean, that's not that long, but my food was like ready, and I was like, no, I gotta do this first. um, yeah, so pretty good for the first time. Like, I really tried on editing. Maybe like if you know Premiere and it's not like your third week on Premiere, you would do better than me. But I did it. Okay, going back to the people and giving you an update. So Issa, yeah, shout out to Issa. She's gonna be in it. Follow me on Instagram to find out when that comes out, or just subscribe to my main channel. Sierra, been seeing Sierra a lot. Same thing with Kendall. Greta, kind of been seeing her. Just been kind of texting her, Sam's sick. I'm texting Sam. Sam is on with all. They shouted this episode out. They shouted the last episode out. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Okay, in the last podcast with the 3 people, Bulo, Gumpo, and Lucas, I'm actually filming with them their podcast later today. So hopefully their podcast will be out soonish. So yeah, follow me on Instagram, follow them on Instagram to see when it comes out. Hopefully soonish. I don't know. I think it's the Christmas special. So around Christmas it'll be coming out, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, it's kind of the update with everyone. Yeah, I guess if I did do the reunion episode, it'll be just like that, because I don't think many people have that much going on, or at least I don't know of, and that's all I know. I've heard from them and seen of them. So yeah, sorry if like you're listening and you're one of the guests I didn't say enough. Comment down below, email the podcast, and write what you've been up to. It's just kind of what I know. I don't mean any ill intent on anyone that I've said that like, oh, I'm not doing much. I don't know. I haven't really been texting. Text me then. Okay. So it's my last week-ish of my first semester sophomore year-ish. Kind of my last day of class, like Zoom class, 14th. So 8 days. But I don't have class next Wednesday. But I have technically my final I'm taking on the 14th. But I'm taking 4 online classes, and those are kind of whenever I want to finish it. Well, before the deadline. So yeah, I got to do those. Just have finals left. Yeah. Yeah, I already talked about my film. If you have any questions about that, just let me know. For storyboarding, I did use Storyboarder. It's free. I just did that. Drew it with my mouse on my computer. I'm not the best at that. I think if you had like a thing for it, I would do much better. But it was just my mouse, just like beep, 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 It's a little limiting, but I think it's fine. All you need is like just one color to a couple colors, and they have a lot of colors. I didn't really want to mess with that much. Yeah, I think you can do great stuff with that. You have to be more into it. I also, for the shot list, I just looked up free shot list samples and just templates and just picked one. Yeah, that's all I did. I wrote the script, did that, had a shot list, just filmed it. There was some shots that, knowing now, like, how long, a week and a half later, I would change, just maybe, it's only like a week and a couple days. Later, I would shoot, like, different shots, because there's a couple things, like getting the toy car, like her from the toy car's angle, was my original idea. But then I couldn't find my skateboard, or like it would have been stupid of me to like lie on the floor and have my dad like push me. It would have been weird, so I just didn't do it. I didn't think about it, but I could have tried it, honestly, now I think about it, but it's whatever. You live, you learn, huh? Linus Morissette. Okay, so a little bit more about me and kind of what I've been up to, kind of just to catch you guys up to speed of my life. I've been social distancing, haven't really left my house. Sorry about this thing. I'll move there. Okay, I went to Target once. I know, spicy. What did I even get? I forgot. Oh, I got the mic. I got a mic for the film. And I got this little, I got the toy car. I got the toy car, a little thing to hold the camera. I didn't actually end up using it. It's right here, actually. I was gonna put it on the toy car. And then it was too big, and it just didn't end up working out when I was testing it, where the camera just kept falling, and I should have just tried it. I don't know why I didn't. This is cute little. It's like a gorilla tripod. I think that's what they're called, but I don't think this is the same company. I don't know. Yeah, I went to Target for like legit 30 minutes. Wear a mask. I did that. I think the day before. So the day before Thanksgiving. This is the 6th right now. So if you want to do that math, you could do it. Then that Tuesday, that's when Mike came over. So he just came over. We were outside like basically the whole time. He did come inside, and I took like photos of him for like portraits, but I was an idiot and I forgot that portraits have to be portrait, like not horizontal, vertical. To be fair, I've only ever taken portraits of myself. I have my own homemade headshot that I made. Pretty good. Pretty good. For like, I don't shoot portrait photography. It's not what I like to do per se. I like more landscapes, and I dabbled in sports for many years. Year or two, basically. And I don't know, I like shooting it all. As long as I have my camera, I'm chilling. Like, honestly, like I went to one time for Glorianne's birthday. You can watch the video. Forgot what it's called, but on my main channel. I really am proud of that video. Um, we went to City Walk, which I just went with Matt, as you know, if you know LA and you remember. Like there's these like liquid stuff that just kind of shoots out jets, whatever. And I got some pretty cool photos. So they had donuts. I didn't have a donut. Well, wow. I just didn't feel like it. Just why do I need that in my life? Like, yeah, I guess they're like really good reviewed donuts, but I'm not in the mood. I don't need that excess sugar. I'm trying to be skinny. Just kidding. I don't know. I just didn't want it. And I was like, wow, look at me being so strong. Like, how many of you guys would walk to a donut shop, have the money, just straight up say, nah, I really had to check in with myself, being like, what the, huh? But I was really proud of myself after that. But anyway, we were walking, and I got a good photo of the little liquid stuff, the little fluid. Liquid's not the right word to say, but whatever. And I was so happy. Couldn't believe it. Could not believe that I got some cool photos. It's weird to say this, but like, never mind, I'm not gonna say it. But I don't know, when you take a good photo, when you shoot a good shot, when I edited something, it's a pretty clean edit, I'm really proud of that. I want to show everyone. Look at me, I did that. Look, me, my brain did that. Where I write a cool script, I write a good line. I literally like one-liners, as you can tell from just me talking. Maybe you laughed or chuckled a bit from like one line. That's the type of comedy and like writing I do. As of now, pretty new to it. Yeah, that just really makes me so happy. Like, I think this is why I think I should be in the creative field, Well, I hope so. We'll see. You never know. So that's, I think, why I'm so sure that I should stick to screenwriting and film and theater, and I do like a bunch of things, like film, theater, photography. Those are my 3 things, and it's kind of hard to say you're interested in all 3 because mainly people are only good at 1 or maybe 2 if you're lucky. It's really hard to be good at all 3. But I kind of flip flop, being like, should I just be in photography? Should I just be in film? Should I just be in theater? Like, really just like, well, why am I doing this? Am I just doing this because like film is just what's in right now, and theater's kind of old, or I don't know. Maybe that's not the right reasoning. You're like, why do I actually like this? Am I just saying this because I watch a bunch of movies when you're younger? Everyone watches movies, but you just kind of second guess your life choices sometimes. But I think whenever I write and I do create, especially a short film, really was like I'm making the right decision. It really is so helpful that whenever you feel like you're just not sure, that sometimes things in my life, especially, are like, nah, you're good, bro. Just keep swimming. Huh? Oh wait, Owen got canceled. Never mind. um. Oh yeah, so me and Matt also went to Stranger Things drive-in. So the reason I say yes, God, yes, Natalie Dyer. I think that's her name. She's in Stranger Things, and I have not seen Stranger Things. Me and Matt have not seen Stranger Things when we went. It's interesting that two Stranger Things kind of things happened, in a week. I saw Yes God Yes, and we went to Stranger Things drive-in. Yes God Yes is really good. I don't know about Stranger Things. Doesn't this kind of look like it would be in Stranger Things? Wait a minute, I'm just messing with the Gorilla Pod thing. I don't know. It's good, yeah. New video coming out probably in the next 3 weeks or so. I'm gonna try to get the roast video out Tuesday, possibly. I don't have school on Tuesday or Wednesday. And then the film hopefully out that Friday if I learn how to do Photoshop, or if I just ask one of my friends to kind of teach me, not for them to do it. It's my film. I should do it. Or just look up tutorials and stuff. Photoshop kind of scares me more than Premiere now, which is yeah, that's kind of just the update. It's kind of just what's been happening. So my main channel, kind of just some stuff. And I just said I have 3 videos kind of planned for the next coming weeks. I do have one more video. I make it every semester, which I did the past 2 semesters. I just talk about my classes and what I've taken. So if you're really interested in what classes I took this semester, watch the video. Probably come out after all 3 of those. I'm gonna try to put it up in December, maybe even January by accident. Oops. Yeah, I think it would be interesting just to talk about. Yeah, that video is not really for anyone in particular, kind of just for me to just watch and remember. I really like Tina Fey and I said Rosebud Baker and stuff, and I think successful people leave behind trail marks. Kind of like you can go in their footsteps and see what they did. And for me, being a full-time student, for me, I really like college. For me, I think it really helps me get learning about things I'm really fascinated about. I love everything. I mean, I love everything, but I'm really fascinated by a lot of things. And school is the perfect way to meet people and study things that you wanted to learn. So yeah. So my main channel will be that. Check out that video if you want. Over just January and kind of January and December, I'm gonna be filming a bunch of stuff. I want to be weekly for 2021. That's one of my goals. We'll see if it actually happens. My reaction to that doesn't sound good, but I hope so. I mean, I have 6 weeks off. Maybe 5. Kind of 6 weeks. Kind of for winter break. And for me, as I said, I'm doing a lot. I tend to do less stuff when I have more time, and more stuff when I have less time. Does that make sense? Did I say that wrong? I don't know. But I'm really trying to change that and really do something over winter break. So kind of my future plans is to watch more movies, film more videos, kind of be active and stuff, kind of just doing things, but also chilling. Well, see, I tend to notice that whenever I make plans, it doesn't really work out. 50% of the time it works out, but this podcast worked out, so I don't know. It's really weird. I'm not so yeah, I'm also taking 2 classes over winter break. I'm taking this dialects class starting in a week, less than a week, a couple days. It's just accents. I really one of my plans is to be on SNL one day. Really love sketch comedy and everything. I really like watching SNL. Even today, yes, I think it's funny. Mind you, not everything is funny, but I really hope that I can be a voice on it. Because SNL is kind of, it is legendary. And I feel like I could help it bring, I don't know, I don't know. I hope to be on it one day. I think a lot of people have that plan. So we'll see. And I think it's just good to learn accents and stuff. And as an actor, to kind of just improve your range of things. Good to always be doing things and to learn. It's kind of like editing. You're gonna run into so many problems, and maybe not problems per se, but kind of just scenarios where you need to do something. And it's better to be a jack of all trades than just to be equipped. So it's kind of my mentality for it. I'm also taking a writing class, a comedy writing class in January, so that's gonna be fun. The voice one's 7 weeks, the other one's 4 weeks. About 3 hours a week, probably a little bit more than that a week. I think a 2 hour meeting and another hour just outside of it practicing on your own, which is fun. And I'm technically free because no class, I don't have anything. I'm gonna try to learn how to drive over winter, possibly, hopefully, we'll see. Just kind of filming a bunch of stuff and kind of planning ahead, but not planning too far ahead where I'm just overwhelmed. Is the plan. Follow me on Letterboxd and Instagram if you want to see what I'm up to, because obviously this podcast would be a great way to understand what I'm going to be doing. But last episode, I will do another episode if I get COVID, so maybe don't wish for that. But if you do see another episode, that's probably why. I could technically keep up these podcasts with no guests, but I don't think you guys want to see me be having a mental breakdown every week. That's kind of Rosebud Baker's I'm just kidding podcast. But yeah. That kind of sounds like a lot. I'm going to tell you all the things I've been doing over this break. What's my weekly schedule? Class Monday, Wednesday, 8 to 10:45. Then I go to office hours after for bio. And then 2 to 4, photography class. That's the same thing for Monday, Wednesday, except Wednesday I don't go to my bio thing. Tuesdays I kind of just chill. Monday at night from 6 to 7, I think that's the time. I have an acting class that I go to where I just learn about different acting techniques. Tuesday, nothing really. I have my voice class at 5 to 6:30. Then Wednesday, I have sometimes the all meeting, but also Wednesday's the only day where I don't really have anything. I did this thing called Writing Wednesday, but Writing Wednesday, Musical Mondays, and play reading Fridays, and also film Fridays, those 3 to 4 things that I do. I've kind of taken a break from it for a little while. We all have, because finals and things, and we have a showcase with the acting school that we go to, and everyone's kind of focusing on that with extra rehearsals and things. It was just better to just, let it be, because people are applying to colleges and stuff. So we were just yeah, we'll just take a break and we'll get back to it soon, So Wednesday's kind of the only day I have free, which is chill. Thursday I have my other voice class, and then that's at 4 to 5. Then I have this writing. Then I go to a writing club, screenwriters club, and then Friday I have a meeting at 10 to 12, and then cinema club after. And sometimes that's when I do play readings. And then I have sometimes now a meeting for this writing group, writing team I'm a part of. They're developing a TV show. I'm a writing assistant for it. It's called Wave. Follow them on Instagram. I just got added to the group. I just applied and I got in. Woo! And we're gonna be working all over the break. So that's kind of what's the plan. Saturday I go to the writing thing, then my voice lesson. At 4. Sunday, today from the podcast usually. And then do my acting class. So that's kind of all the things I do. Saying it out loud sounds like a lot, especially to someone who doesn't live with the schedule I do. But that's kind of doesn't sound like enough to me, which is crazy. But I know that's a lot of stuff to keep up with. Because mind you, I do a bunch of things and it's only gonna be an hour a week. It's usually more than that because you got to put in time outside of it. But you just don't think about that, and you just do it whenever. Maybe not the best response, but anyway, I got an email from Matthew. Shout out to Matthew. This is the last. Man, I'm really sad about this last episode. Might not look like it, but I really am. Okay, Matthew. Finally, it's over. Yeah, sorry, I'm leaning off to the side. Hey guys, it's me. The biggest disappointment, See, I do that thing when I don't sing, and I just I close my mouth, so that's fun. Okay, hey guys, it's me. I have Graveguard. I has Graveyard Girl, Logical Pawns, Nygaard, Pansino. Back with the final questions for the Quarantine podcast season 1. Yeah, might be a season 2. Thank goodness this is the final episode. As you can tell, I'm running dry of funny guy content, and I'm scrapping the bottom of the barrel with these silly slime questions. It's not easy every week trying to create a segment that the viewers actually watch. Anyways, it's anyway, not anyways. My mom told me about that. It's so annoying. On to the questions. Number 1. Have you watched the best episode of the podcast yet? The one featuring Glorianne? If so, what is your favorite thing about her? If not, why didn't you? I don't rewatch the podcast. Sorry to say. I just don't, because I kind of don't like the sound of my own voice, which I know is normal. But being in this industry, but kind of being like a creative person, kind of being like the jester of society. You kind of got to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and that's like hearing your own voice. Like what? I should probably rewatch all these episodes, and I might if I mean, I'll put them on Letterboxd. I won't. But what is my favorite thing about her? Probably just her, like her like being her friendliness, her just her attitude towards life. I know like sometimes like we don't always have the best day, but she really puts her friends and family first, which I think is really admirable. Being her friend. But she's great. It's interesting to like, talk about someone when they're not there. That's like a really hard thing for me to do. Like normally I'm talking to someone, we talk about a third party that we know, and I normally don't say anything because I don't feel comfortable talking about people. Not necessarily behind their back, because that implies like you're talking ill about someone, but just talking about someone when no one's there. I'm fine talking about random strangers when they're not there, like Rosebud Baker. But if I knew Rosebud, I probably would not talk about her. Because like there's always like a way it's gonna get back to her and be taken out of context. Like, why are you talking about me? People just get up in arms about it. I just finished watching. Oh, number 2. I just finished watching the Robots movie, and I did not know Ewan McGregor was in it. What do you think you would be incarcerated for? I thought about this before. Long time ago. I don't know. Maybe everyone hating me? Is that a thing? Maybe like just like joking, but then everyone taking me seriously. That's kind of lame. I do not want to kill anyone. That's just. I don't think I could live with that. I mean, that's incarcerated for. I forgot what that means. Maybe, maybe like making jokes about someone online, but then like people actually doing it, and I would get in trouble for it. Maybe trying to like bribe someone for doing something stupid, being like, oh, like I go to the bank. Oh, so like, can I have the money, please? Or maybe like filming in a place that I'm not supposed to be filming. That kind of seems more realistic. Of like, maybe like protesting for something. And is that what incarcerated means? I stopped watching Orange is the New Black recently, not on purpose, just final season, and I get so emotional just watching these type of shows. I feel for the characters, even though there's no need for me to. Okay, 3. Do you feel that any content featuring Matthew Morrison should be presented alongside a trigger warning? The Grinch, yes. Everything else, no, because I feel like I don't really get the hate that Matthew Morrison gets completely, but I do. Oh God, Matthew Morrison as the Grinch for sure. Him in The Heights for sure. Glee. I mean, we already know, so no. I don't know what else he's been in. Oh, Hairspray. I think he's fine because it was before Glee. Right? So fine. Plus, Gary Butler was there, so. But any new content featuring Matthew Morrison, yes. Oh my god, the Grinch. And Bobo Stewart plays the dog, which I think is just interesting. Because number one, person of color is playing a dog, which is not a person. Like, I think that was the whole point with Princess and the Frog. People were up in arms about it. When I was young, I didn't know. I was like, oh my god, Princess and the Frog, it's so cool. Oh my god. So many people probably kissed frogs because of that movie. I did not want to do that. No. No. That is interesting with their choicing, unless he wanted to be the dog. I don't know what to say. Interesting. Maybe worse than being the Grinch. That's interesting as well. I don't know why, but okay. 4. Mariah Carey's holiday special on Apple TV Plus was immaculate. What are some of your favorite memories from the Quarantine podcast? I haven't seen Mariah Carey. I don't have Apple TV Plus. I'm a little sad about that, but I think I'm not missing that much. Someone email me your link, your password, and whatever, if you want. Favorite memories of the Quarantine podcast? I don't know. It really changes. I think I really have a shit memory when it comes to stuff like this. Honestly, each episode was really fun. What instantly comes to mind is me and Mike just talking about his film being an Oscar nominated thing, which is interesting. I don't know. I think just the knowledge and just memories kind of, maybe not like I can't recall anything, which is bad, but just like kind of the footprint in my brain about it. Just about it. It's great. Bless you. My mom just sneezed. I'm not sure if you can hear it. I mean, I waited a little second. Okay. God. I mean, there's so many great people that was on the podcast. So many bad ones too. I'm kidding. Just me. That's on the podcast is bad one. Honestly, it changes. Like, I don't know. It's like my favorite movie. It constantly changes. My favorite. It just really changes. My favorite song always changes, depending on what I'm listening to. I don't know. I think just all of the podcasts are great. Just great moments in all of them. So go check them out. Number 5. What are some of your future plans for the podcast channel and for your other creative outlets coming up in the near future? Thank you for this question. That's why I kind of waited to kind of announce everything. So yes, I'm taking a break. I have many ideas for podcasts, I kind of mentioned, and kind of a new announcement. Well, I told you about my main channel and stuff, and I don't really want to release too much more of that because I honestly have no clue what I'm going to be doing over there in the next coming months. This month I know, but maybe January I don't know that much. During this winter break is really just going to be seeing how much I can handle while not really focusing on school. It's kind of just like obviously a break, but kind of also not for me to focus on stuff outside of just school and focus on creating content that I want and just being a better creator. So I do want to have a new podcast though, like every 3 months or so. I do have many ideas for it, and that would be multiple seasons of different things. Me and Matthew kind of have an idea for a podcast if you guys want to see that. Just depends. Probably maybe new podcast in January. If not, expect season 2 in March. I don't know. I have many ideas for podcasts, and I have many ideas of just things in general that I think could be expanded out to the podcasting zeitgeist. That's a good word to say. And I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it a podcast first because I honestly feel like this podcast is filmed on Zoom. Obviously, there's not much work going into it. Sam Smart, if you know who that is, podcast guest. She offered to like help me edit it, and I was like, I don't. Like, it was just so awkward because I'm not an audio person. I wasn't an editing person, but maybe over this break I'll learn how to do audio, learn how to do this so it's not on Zoom. But I think because of the quarantine show and the format it's on, Zoom works. If there was another type of podcast, it might not work that well. So I might need to figure out something else. And just look into my different options, and I don't really know where to go. But I do definitely want to have more podcasts. I think I have 2 or 3 kind of planned in the next 7 months. Not all of them are weekly, obviously. There's one that's monthly, one that's every other week, and there's one that's whenever I post like on my main channel corresponding to it. So we'll see. We'll see which one happens first. I do have some videos already pre-filmed as of now for a couple months, and it's just up to me of when I'm going to post it, because as soon as I start posting, I mean, the thing about YouTube and I think just being an online content creator is that you get your 15 seconds of fame, usually sometimes. And I think it's better to grow it, like, slowly. So you're, like, if you just have, like, boop, you can have, a really high rise. You're going to have a really fast fall. So I think it's better to have a really slow rise and a really slow fall. If that makes sense. And I feel like with people getting, as I said, with podcasts, people kind of just the exclusivity of it kind of just dies out after a while. Like with TV shows too, it's why I think it's seasons. If you think of it every single week, same time, you would kind of get bored. And you kind of also got to give the writers a break and cast a break and everything with coming up with new plot lines and things, and let the characters grow and let the audience grow with it as well. So I'm kind of sad about this. I might do TikTok as well. I don't know why I just said that now. I might do TikTok over the break. I don't know. I have some decent ideas for it. Just kind of experimenting with a different type of platform, short form content. Maybe. Really big maybe. I gotta get quicker at editing, I guess. Because TikTok's really much. What's interesting about TikTok, I think I mentioned it before, and I don't think this is my doing of it. I think it was Colin and Samir that said this. That the creator, like for YouTube, it's mostly about the creators, you know? But for TikTok itself, it's not anything about one specific creator. It's about the algorithm, the different type of content itself. TikTok is the thing that brings you onto the app, not the people. YouTube, it's like, oh, I'm going to watch my favorite YouTuber. No, YouTube isn't, it's different mindsets when approaching these two platforms. My parents are talking. I don't know why. They know I'm filming. But it's fine. Okay, I'm nearing the end of this. I'm really sad. Next week, I'm not going to be filming a podcast. I'm just going to be... just follow me on Instagram if you want to see the latest updates. Also, a little bit of a thing. I post every December. Like the 12 days of Christmas. I post a photo every day for 12 days in a row leading up to Christmas. So that's kind of the most recent thing I'm going to be focusing on. I already have most of those photos taken. Some of them are coming from the Stranger Things thing. Some of them are just coming from random photos of me that I didn't post before. I don't know, maybe some whatever. I don't know. That's kind of it. Matthew has this little thing at the end. I like them boom boom pow, them chickens jacking my style. They try to copy my swagger. I'm on the next bleep now. I'm so 3008, you're so 2000 and late. I've got that boom boom boom, that future boom boom boom. Let me get it now. By Derek, Huey, Hubert, Matthew, Rod, Hugh, Rod, Roddy, Hugh, Rick, Richard, I forgot I had Dick, Matt, Flowers, Flores, whatever else you want to call me, you filthy beast. Alright. I didn't say all the flashes in between, but it doesn't matter. Sorry, Matt. Alright. God guy. This is a God guy. Oh, gosh. Last episode. If you're still here, please email me. I'm gonna be pretty free over the break. So, see you next time, Buttercup. Bye, you filthy animal. Bye.